viewers, the time has finally come to fix my daughter's 87 Comanche. If you've been watching the show for a while, you know she drove this into a signpost last spring. Well, now the registration's expired and it won't pass inspection looking like this, so I've got to get it fixed. When I pulled the fender off, to my disappointment, I found that the unibody had sustained quite a bit of damage, and that this front corner piece was creased and folded, and that I was just no way ever going to be able to get this flat or square again. And I am definitely not a paint and body guy, but in looking, I could see that this corner panel was the only one really that sustained any damage. And I got looking at how it was spot welded into the rest of the unibody, and the idea occurred to me that I could drill out these spot welds and take the same panel from my 95 parts Cherokee and maybe weld it in place on this 87 Comanche. So that's what I did. I went to work drilling out all the spot welds on the 95 Cherokee, and they make a bit that's specific for drilling out spot welds on a body panel like this. I don't have one, so I tried to use a step bit from Harbor Freight, and I ended up breaking it. So then I got my brain straight and drilled pilot holes first, and then used this other step bit, and that worked really slick. This step bit made quick work of the spot welds once I had a nice little pilot hole for it to go in. You got to make sure you get every single spot weld. Some of them are hard to see, some of them are quite faint and the paint covers them up, but just be patient and thorough. Make sure you get them all, and there are a bunch. It took me a couple of tries to find them all, but once I had them all drilled out, the last thing you got to do is drill out this pop rivet holding the fender brace on, and then you can gently go to work prying this panel away from the rest of the unibody. Be real patient, you don't want to distort it. I mean, I had to reuse this panel, so I had to be real careful not to bend it up getting it out, but with a little finesse and a little patience, I was finally able to shimmy it out, and now I have a new replacement body panel for my Comanche. Here you can see what the Cherokee looks like with the piece removed. So now over to the Comanche. I've got to clean off this inner fender well to get at that body panel. So the battery has to come out, the battery tray has to come out. I also had to remove the wiring harness. It runs through the front of this panel through a hole, plus I didn't want to drill through it. This wiring harness was actually damaged in the accident, and rather than try and splice all those wires back together, I decided to just take the wiring harness out of tetanus. It's also an 87 Comanche, and use it instead. Tetanus is going to be getting a whole new engine and updated computer and wiring, so I didn't have any heartburn using that harness. I'm not going to show that in this video. It's probably something for another video, but here you can see me drilling my pilot holes and then drilling out the spot welds on the Comanche panel. I'm being real careful here not to drill through a radiator hose or drill through any of my wiring on the inside of the engine compartment. But with all those spot welds drilled out and the fender brace removed, now I can work out the damaged panel. Now I'm going to go to work cleaning up all of these holes that I've drilled. I'm going to have to weld in the new panel, and I need nice clean metal to do that. So I'm getting after it here with a wire wheel. Then I took a piece of railroad tie as an anvil, and I just flattened out any of the little wrinkles or distortions that were in the tabs that I need to weld to, just to make sure that this new panel is going to fit nicely. So here I'm fitting it up. It went right in, really slick. Once I clamped it in place, it was nice and square. Here I'm going to do a quick measurement just to make sure that I've actually got it square and that it's going to line up with the other side. Once I was happy with that, I went to work welding in the panel. Now all of the spot welds on the Cherokee, they don't necessarily line up with the spot welds on the Comanche. So what I did was weld up all of the holes on the outside first, and then I went ahead and moved to the inside and welded up those holes. And with the welds from both sides like that, the panel was nice and solid. Now I'm going to clean up any slag, any burnt paint, and flatten out my welds. And with the welds flat and clean, I'm going to go ahead and shoot them all with a little coat of primer just to prevent any rust. Now understand, guys, I am no way even close to a paint and body guy, but this was just the easiest solution that I could think of to repair the unibody. You know, the unibody is the frame, so it's important that you don't compromise the integrity of the frame with this damaged body panel, and this was the only way I could see to get it square. And then, man, it went in slick. It looks good. Everything lines up. Even with that many years between model years, this panel fit perfectly. I'm not going to go through putting the outside fender and the grill and all that stuff back on. I just wanted to show you that, you know, even if you do damage your unibody, that may not be the end of the world. You can repair them in some instances, like I did here. So I hope you guys find this useful. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and that helps us keep the videos coming. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.